This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to INCRadio Florida. I'd love to say I'm one of your hosts today, but apparently that's not going to be the case. But I am Brother Robert Tapales coming to you from here in Tampa, Florida. And today is a special episode of INCRadio Florida because today is the takeover of our studio by the District Christian Family Organization Officers here in the state or district of Florida. But fortunately for me, I do have one of our hosts that are there on the ground in the studio in Orlando. Sister Joy, good morning to you. How are things over there?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of our viewers. Thank you for tuning in with us and joining us today. Yes, I am not in the studio today. I'm actually delighted to be in the presence of some of our fellow District CFO officers. And for those of you who are just tuning in, if you're not familiar with DCFO means, D stands for district, C stands for Christian, F stands for family, O stands for organization. So in the Church of Christ, we have an organization called the CFO, which we will commonly use today. You'll hear that acronym used, which is the Christian Family Organization. And in the Christian Family Organization, there are different subcategories, right? We have booklet members, and the booklet members are our married members inside the church. These are members that are married, whether you're newlywed, you are part of the category of the Christian Family Organizations, the CFO, the booklet members. And then we also have a category for our Kadiwa, which I'll let them kind of jump in and explain. Kadiwa are our members that are not married, that are 18 years and older. And there's a translation, which I'm excited to hear some of our Kadiwa members who are, again, 18 years old, not yet married, and are part of this youth group. We also have another youth group, which is our younger youth group, which are 17. So, well, those members have been here, and they are baptized members, from baptized members up to 17 years old. And then we have a little youth group, right, that are our CWS. This is another acronym you'll hear, which are CWS stands for our Children's Worship Service members. And these are our young little lambs who are 5 years old, and they participate in our children's worship service. We also have other categories too that are part of this, which many of us are part, are students, which is the CBI, and CBI stands for Christian Brotherhood International. I know that that's a lot, especially for those of you who are just tuning in, but it's not a lot. It's a heart full of organizations here in the Church of Christ where we have Christian family organizations. This organization is provided to us to help protect and serve. And there's so many wonderful things that I'm really excited to share about. And I have to toss the floor over back so that you can hear for yourselves how wonderful it is to be part of this organization and all the many activities that we have here in the District of Florida. We've had a lot of great things. And as a matter of fact, you see that I'm sporting my District of Florida t-shirt here. Really excited. I'm going to pass it over to also one of our hosts because we have such a lovely panel of hosts. I'm going to send it right back over to the west side. Sister Audrey, you want to tell us a little bit of what we're expecting today here on our show and a little bit more about our CFO takeover?
Yes. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Sister Audrey Tapales coming to you from the west coast of Florida here in Tampa. The weather is starting to feel more like a sunny side up version of Florida, right? So we've got your cool in the morning and then the warm up during the day. So kind of like how the show is going to be this morning. So as you can see, you've heard from our usual INCRadio Florida host, but I'm actually going to toss it over to our sister Cass over there representing our district Kadiwa, as Sister Joy had mentioned earlier, because today is a very special CFO special. I think that's a special sandwich, right?
Love it.
Good morning.
You know what this kind of feels like, though? It feels like kind of like when you're driving. Now we have to sit in the back seat. So I don't know how I feel about this. but
Yeah,
but I
the
have
keys are no longer in our hands.
I have tons of
It's
faith
been
in our
given.
district, in our awesome district CFO officers. So I'm more than confident in handing these keys over. So, Sister Cass,
Absolutely.
good
Well,
morning
the
to you as our
taxi
district
for
CFO
backseat
president.
drivers.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sister Cass. I am from Tampa, Florida. I am the District Kadiwa president. I've never driven a minivan, so all of these people will have to sit in the back of my Camry. But I am going to allow Ate Christina, if you can please introduce yourself, your role, and then we'll just introduce all of the District CFO officers that are here with us today.
Hi, thank you, Sister Cass. I am Sister Christina. I'm the district booklet vice president. And Sister Cass, don't knock a minivan until you try it, because I thought I would never love a minivan until we rented one. Now I'm an advocate. So that's me. I'm here representing the booklet. So, and Sister Joy is actually district CFO, district booklet officer with me. So it's nice to have her on here. So if I forget something, she'll remember to bring it up too. But thank you.
You see, that's exactly how CFO works. You know, we're here for each other, right? Love it. Very good. So how about we go over to some of, so you've heard and you've seen, you've been introduced to our district Kadiwa, which is Sister Cass, our district Buklud, which is Sister Christina. How about we go over now to another category? So we went Buklud, we went Kadiwa. We're going to go over to more Kadiwa. Do we have more Kadiwa? Okay, let's go Benhi. Do you hear the love? Let's go to Benhi over here to my left.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother RJ Clemente from the locale of Orlando, and I'm the District Benhi president here in the District of Florida. And unlike maybe Sister Cass and also Ate Christina, I've never driven a minivan because I can't drive one yet. So I'm able to drive, but just not a minivan yet. But I'm also joined here with Brother Angelino.
Yeah, if you're wondering who I am,
So you can.
I am the District Kadiwa ACC chairperson, so the Arts and Culture Committee chairperson. So, you know, we deal with all the musical performances, anything that has anything to do with art. And I just want to say, guys, I love road trips. I'm so happy to be included in this caravan. And when are we singing? When are the mics coming out? When are we going to sing some songs?
I love it. I love you. You hear that? Do you all feel the love? I feel the love. I always feel the love. And, you know, we're so happy to have all of you guys joining in on this little CFO road trip takeover with us. We have more. We have more to our family here. And can you imagine that we don't even have everyone with us? So we're going to go over to we're still in the central part of Florida. I'm going to pass it over to another Kadiwa. And we're over here in the Kissimmee part. So Sister Ann, welcome. And we're so glad to have you on with us. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you too, what your role is in the district and as well as the Kadiwa.
Hello, well, it's so nice to be here this morning. Like Ate Joy said, my name is Sister Ann. I'm a district Kadiwa officer who works in the Edification and Propagation Committee. So it's great to be able to join today and talk about some of our upcoming activities. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, we're so glad to have you here, Sister Ann. So I have a question for you. So Kadiwa, right? I kind of mentioned this a little earlier. Are you able to tell us what Kadiwa stands for? If you can, it's okay. We have
as in the translation of this, or like
sure, yes. Share what you know. It's okay.
Well,
Safe
like
space.
said earlier, Kadiwa is members who are over 18 and baptized already, who are still not married. As for the direct translation, I always forget what it is every time we ask this.
So right, guess what? I want this to kind of just demonstrate and showcase. You know, so Kadiwa, y'all. I'm gonna do it with my American, accent here, but it just kind of shows the purpose, that our purpose overrides what actually it is, because we all have such a beautiful value when it comes to serving in the Christian family organizations. Kadiwa stands for, help me out, so Brother Angelino is part of the Kadiwa. Kadiwang. Oh, okay. I heard
This is the
yes.
question.
All right, this okay. Let's
We're going
pass it
different
over
directions.
back on the west side, right? Okay, Sister Cass, take us away.
Okay, so there's a reason why I will listen and I will type out in Tagalog because my accent is so American, it's horrible. So that was a disclaimer, everyone. But if you ask me to type it out, perfect. A1. But
Alright.
Kadiwa is an acronym that stands for Kabataang May Diwang Wagas. So it's translated to Youth with Noble Intent.
I think I agree, Joe. That deserves a round of applause, everyone. What do you think? I think so too.
But-
So good. Yes, well done. Better than what I could do. But I'm with you. I'm on the same page with you, Cass, because I'd have to type it out and then read it myself. But again, that just proves, how excited we all are to serve. And that's whether you're in the Kadiwa, whether you're in the Buklod, whether you're in the Binhi, we have, our purpose just is just right here in the heart. And, with that, I also want to, we have someone else with us here, part of the Kadiwa. We're going to go back on the west side. Sister Ella, are you ready to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit too about your role in the district? So back over to you on the west side, Sister Ella.
Oh, yeah, hi, Paul. My name is Sister Ella, and I am actually part of the Christian Brotherhood International. I'm helping to start this organization up in Florida. And so CBI is for all students in high school and college, and we hold lots of professional development activities, academic activities, but also activities to just bond with your students in the fellow area. And we just started 6 months ago. It's super fun, but also it's really fun.
I love how you just said that. Usually when you hear about like studying and students, there's some kind of, sometimes you kind of tense up a little bit because you're like, oh no, studying. You feel the stress, right? The academic stress behind that. But you said it's super fun. And that's exactly, one of the heartbeats, the pulse of just being part of the Christian Family Organization, and even being part of one of the subcategories, the CBI, the Christian Brotherhood International, where we're studying, where we're trying to focus. It just proves it can be fun. It is fun. So y'all, we're really excited to talk about some of the activities that are going on. And I'm proud. I'm just so proud. I'm proud of our core here. And if you are not yet part of the core, we're welcoming any of you, no matter what category you are in, whether you're a married member in the Buklod, if you're Kadiwa, if you are Binhi or CWS, CBI, there's always room for our family to grow. So we welcome you, and it is a lot of fun. And so let's talk about some of the activities that we've had already, because I'm really proud of some of these activities. So I'm going to pass it over. Cass, I'm going to pass it over to you. Tell us a little bit about some of the past activities that we've had. And if you want to pass it over to anyone else, please.
Sure.
Take us away.
So I would love to start off by saying we have a great campaign that is currently launched in the District of Florida. It's our Sharing Our Faith campaign. It's a series of challenges. Every single day there was a different challenge, from giving out an INC media card, or passing out a pasugo, or sharing an online article on our social medias, or texting it to a friend. Today we actually have our challenge is to watch this show. So we are hoping that everyone is tuning in around the District of Florida. If you are #Faithful Florida, drop whatever locale you are coming from or you're watching from. We would love to know where our viewers are coming from, and just remain faithful here in Florida. So #Faithful Florida. So that is our current challenge that we are going through at the moment. But we did have some recent activities. Last week we had 3 activities. Friday we had a making fruit art activity. Saturday we had our family photo challenge, hosted by the Booklook. And then on Sunday we had our leadership enhancement training. So would love to start with our making fruit art that happened last Friday. We have Brother Angelino with us. He is, as he had mentioned, the Arts and Culture Committee Chair. He was the spearheader of this activity, and going through pictures, it looked a lot of fun throughout each locale. Everyone seemed to really be creative. So Brother Angelino, what is the fruit art making, and what was your favorite part of the activity?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So like basically the fruit art making is kind of self-explanatory, but we allowed like the kids and all the other brethren we gave them a selection of different kinds of fruits like apples and grapes and stuff like that, and they were able to make art out of that, whatever they wanted to make. Like it was such, it really showed like everyone's creativity. Like there was like some people like built like rocket ships. I saw like a dog. You couldn't tell it was a dog, but it's it's like Picasso-esque.
I mean, for also like me, like also as part of the youth, right? Us being part of the activity, like for me, I participate in this,
Right.
and being able to create like art. I created whatever came to mind. Mine was like, if I can remember correctly, with just some random head with eyes and a face on it. So, I mean, yeah, like what he said.
It's awesome, right? Like it really teaches, especially like the youth, to use their creativity with what they have. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're given to them. It's not a Lego with instructions. They really just get to be free and make whatever they want, which is like that's something really special. It was awesome. There were so many items, especially here in Orlando.
Yeah, and it
was
encourages
crazy.
them to, it really does encourage them to also eat their fruits,
Oh yeah.
right? Right. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, so it's like, hey, you don't like apples, but today
You do.
you love apples and you created some art with it, right?
Yeah, I might have not made anything crazy, but I did enjoy a couple apples.
So you did. There you go, an apple a day, right? It's good for you. That is really good for you.
I was gonna ask that question. Ella, when you had the activity, what did you make? And did you actually eat your fruit afterwards, or is it saved for as long as you can preserve it?
Yeah, no, we ate ours like right after. And for me, I tried to make like a fish out of oranges, but it kind of looked like sashimi. Uh, but I'd also like to say in my locale, someone made like a frog out of a watermelon, and that was like probably the coolest thing that someone made in my locale.
Sister Anne, I mean, part of it was a challenge, right? We did include a first, second, third place option for brethren to be able to vote on their favorite pieces. I felt like a lot of the brethren did not even think about the competitive piece. They just really wanted to create the fruit art. What was it like for your locale with this activity? Were they like pinning each other in competition, or were they really just there for the activity, for the fun, for this new non-traditional art form?
I mean, in our locale, we have so many active CWS and younger youth. So honestly, the competitiveness was not the biggest aspect of our activity. They were really just taking it, having fun with it, and being super creative. I didn't know what half of the things they were making were, but they were so happy to be participating and engaged with the fruit. I think it's something they don't get to do often, start playing with their food. But some of them, they just started eating it off the bat, making things, sharing it with others. So, I mean, it was great to just play with them and make things with them. But as for who won, I don't even remember. It wasn't the first thing on my mind.
Awesome. Dr. Christina, we also had the family photo challenge. This was an activity spearheaded by the District Book Club. What can you tell us about this challenge? And what was the feedback from the brethren that you've heard?
So for the challenge, I know people were confused, like, what's a family photo walk? So the main purpose was for you to go out with your family, go explore, go out. Like us, we went to like a very popular spot in town. I know some other places, they went to like nature walks. I think Tampa's, they looked like that they had a lot of fun because I did see a lot of people like out in nature in a park. It was mainly time for you to spend with your family and we take pictures all the time, but how often do you actually stop, take a picture with your family? Actually with us, so we went to the Riverside Arts Market, which was in a nice area in Jacksonville that's often forgotten. A lot of brethren, the ministers assigned here, we're like, we didn't even know this existed. But we had fun, so much fun that I think we forgot the photo challenge part, we all took the pictures in the beginning and everyone was enjoying themselves. Like Sister Audrey, your mom was like having the time of her life at this activity. And she like came back with bags of like vegetables, and like Andrew, your brother, was holding like all her things that she collected at the market. So after
I've
this,
heard, and we've lived in Jacksonville for 25 plus years. So it's nice to have activities like this that kind of highlight the city that the locale is in, to kind of reignite these hidden gems, right? So thank you so much, District Bookwood, for that beautiful activity. I'm sure all of you enjoyed as well.
yes. So I've heard some people picked really good spots in town. So it was just a nice family event that, like, from what I've heard, especially feedback here, they want to keep doing it and do more things where we throw in that family time at like places that they've never been to before. So I've heard good feedback from here, but I know at the Joy, you guys also did something. So how was that for you guys in your area?
We had, you know what? The fruit making was awesome. We ate a bunch of fruit, and I can see that's from some of our viewers. You guys did too. Not only did you enjoy making the art, but you also enjoyed eating it. For the photo walk, it was really nice. It wasn't just kind of like what you guys experienced in Jacksonville. It was kind of similar to what we experienced here in the central part. We went on with the intention of having a photo walk, but we were just enjoying each other's company. And we went to a park, which again was, I mean, we've lived here for so long, right? And it's not that it was a hidden gem. We were at a local park, but we're like, why don't we come out here more often? You know, I mean, the weather was a traditional, you know, Florida, sunny side up. A little bit of heat was out there, but we had our water to hydrate, and most of all, we had each other, and it was fun. I mean, there's no like rigid like timeline or program that we had to follow. It was just more like, we're together, we're going out for a walk, we're getting some fresh air. The kids just played it naturally. Everyone is just having such a great time. So, you know, it was really nice. And these are really activities that help bring us all together. It doesn't matter what, you know, category you're in, Bookwood, Kadiwa, Binhi, CWS, CBI. We were all together for that, you know, and it's just so nice. It's nice to be outdoors. It was nice to make fruit. And, you know, we had other activities too. And I'm going to bring it back over to you guys, the DCFO, because these are exactly the reasons why we have these activities. You know, I mean, it just, we share such great common values with each other when it comes to our faith and to our beliefs. And then when we have activities like this, you know, we're going out in nature. We're just playing, just doing these things. And it's just nice to spend time with each other when we do that, right? And that weekend too, and I know that weekend was just like, we were just overjoyed with all the many different activities. We had fruit making, we had the photo walk, and we also had another activity too, that not only were we able to like physically, you know, with the photo walk or like artfully work with fruit making, we also enhanced some of our skills, right? So I'm going to bring that over to you. Again, Christina, tell us a little bit about what that enhancement was for some of the skills that we have as far as a district, that activity that we had. How was that? That was the leadership enhancement, right? Training.
Yeah, we had the leadership enhancement training. It was in Lakeland. That was nice. A lot of team building exercises, things I've never done before. There's a big focus on communication, which was nice. And one of the highlights for me, it's, you know, I'm Bookwood, obviously one of the older people in the room, and when you're seeing things from the eyes of like the Kadiub and he, that, you know, I have a son, but he is he's not close to Kadiub and he age. So seeing how some of them think, I believe one of our activities was, I wish someone vet these coins, Sister Cass, but they handed out coins with years on it, and you had to come up with a memory from that year. So some of these years, these kids were not born. And someone in my group was like, I have a coin from 1982. If I was this age, I'd be very old. And I was like, well, my coin is from 1988. I was 3. So I was born in the 80s. And they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that you were very old, sister. But it's just so nice seeing, like, you know, the youth here, and the things that they go through, their perspective, things are different from when I was in high school, right? So I thought it was fun, especially as a bookload, seeing the Kadiwa and Benhi like take charge and be leaders here. So it was a very good experience. Sister Ella was in my group, so we got to experience that too. How was that for you, Sister Ella?
Well, the one thing I got to say before I know that we're not hosting today is that if it was my coin, it would be a wooden nickel. So if we're talking about age, so go ahead, Sister Ella.
Oh geez, sorry. Okay, so yeah, that activity was pretty fun as well. Like one of the most interesting parts was where we were kind of like in a situation where we were like on a boat that was burning, and we had to prioritize like what items we would bring. And so it was kind of interesting to like go through what everyone kind of prioritized and what we were all thinking was important, like from things from like mosquito repellent all the way to like bottled water and sweaters. And then I'd like to ask like Brother RJ and Brother Angelino how that went for you, because I remember when you guys were telling what you were gonna bring, it was kind of funny.
I mean, like, where can I begin? Like,
Let's just say our group survived.
That's
okay.
our group survived. And
we definitely survived.
And there was some
Now
blaming.
playing.
We can say that.
Welcome
But,
to
What did you guys decide to bring?
what was it like? Well, there was an inflatable boat. What else?
We had to have that.
We had that.
Yeah, or else we drowned.
Exactly.
Okay.
There was what else is there? Like,
There's canned food,
water.
Well, I know the sweater was last.
Sweater was last on the list because like you're out in the middle of the sea. Like, why would you need a sweater, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so what was the scenario? So scenario was
So from our understanding, the scenario that they gave us is that there were 6 of us in our group,
okay.
and the boat somehow caught on fire. No blame
Whoa.
on RJ.
Okay.
Definitely wasn't RJ.
Okay. Well, this is pretty.
But
okay.
it caught on fire, and then they gave us a list of items, and we
Okay.
had to prioritize the items as a group on what we would want to bring. So number 1 being the most important, and then number 10,
The least
Gotcha.
the
important.
least important. So,
Okay. So wait. So just to recap, you guys are in a boat.
Right.
Yeah.
There's how many of you in the group?
There's 6 of us.
Six.
6 of us.
Okay, so you're in a boat, stranded. There's 6 of you, and you have a list to
Yes.
prioritize.
Yes.
Okay. What was your group's first?
I think the first one was the boat.
Lifeboat.
The boat was first.
Oh,
The lifeboat was on the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So wait, you're on a boat, and you have a lifeboat. So there's
Yeah,
2
the
boats.
the lifesaver.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the original boat exploded or whatever. Caught on fire.
Oh.
What was it?
Yeah. Again, not RJ's fault.
Okay. All right.
Some people say otherwise.
So you just okay. So that's the first one. What's the second one you guys
I
had?
think it was
a knife.
Okay.
We're thinking long term, right? What if
Okay.
we land on an island?
Yeah, realistic.
Okay.
We can use a knife for food, for fish,
Okay.
to protect ourselves.
So is it like a knife for each of you?
I think it's
I
just
think-
the one.
I think-
it's just the one.
So whoever's responsible for the knife better
Yeah.
just okay.
Just hold on tight.
And if they lose that knife, well, we're like
Like,
we're
oh
done
my
for.
goodness.
We're done
Oh
for.
my goodness. All right. So the lifeboat, the knife. What was next?
I think it was like
I'll let you
water,
guys list it
It was
out.
a water bottle.
I think water. Yeah.
Water bottle.
Because then at least with water, we can not only once we drink for like actual usable drinkable water, but also once we're done with it, we can use it for other purposes, like maybe like grabbing more water for like grab like rainwater, and then like what is like survival technique, like boil it as well, boil like
Oh,
water,
okay.
and then to make it drinkable.
Yeah, we're not experts. Do not take our advice. What we learned was from TV.
This is no far anywhere like advice. Okay, so you have a lifeboat that this is not by advice. This is just, just okay. This is what you guys would do, right? So a lifeboat, you have a knife, a water bottle. So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the other ones?
I think that was canned food next, right?
Food, yeah.
And it's also like the similar reasoning because like one, you need food to survive, but also 2, we can use a can for like many other purposes as well. I think what was like one of them we listed for? Like just like the water
Like
stuff.
cooking food.
Cooking food. Oh yeah, cooking food. Yeah, exactly. So once you got your campfire set,
Okay.
you have your metal can, whatever it is, and then you can cook food in there, whoever you catch and whatever you find on the island or in the sea.
But like the most important part of the activity wasn't like about survival,
Yeah.
especially that game. No, but like the best part was it's about, working as a team to prioritize these items. Everyone has like different opinion on what number one should be, and throughout the list. So it's about compromise. It's about keeping calm, and just working out.
And also and also working together, like figuring out like what exactly do you need, and then thinking it in the mindset, like what if you were in the situation? Think of the teamwork aspect of what you need to survive, work as a
As a
team.
group.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Because obviously, if you were by yourself, the list would probably be different.
Exactly.
I love it. I'm interested to hear what are some of the things and the other groups. Was the scenario the same for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Can I hear what was in
Sister Christina.
Yeah, Sister Christina, what was it? Did you have any more bookload in your group? Because it's always interesting to hear the differences.
In my group, I was the only booklet, so I was pretty much passenger princess listening to what all the other Kadub and he wanted. But I think the most unique thing with my group was there's a brother and he decided to say that we should tie the rope to a knife to go fishing in our boat. And everyone's like, how does that work? And we're like, I don't know, but I mean, we can make it work. But I will say that, the item that threw us all off was like they decided to add a sweater, not a sweater for everyone, but like one sweater for the whole boat. So I think everyone prioritized that pretty low. But they forgot to add that there was no promise of an island. So our lives may have been stuck on this inflatable boat for who knows how long. But that was like one of the activities. And one that also was interesting that day was the first thing we did was make a tower out of newspaper that they gave us. But the trick was like there was no communication. So you couldn't actually talk and discuss like best options. So I thought to me that was my observing moment to see where everyone's minds went. And then like right after I was asking the Kadiwa that we carpooled with, I was like, did you guys not like build like bridges with like toothpicks, dried spaghetti, popsicle sticks? And they're like, Ata, school's not like that anymore. We don't do activities like that. And I'm like, oh.
Remember those coins you guys were talking about?
Yeah.
That's way back then. Yeah, that is interesting. And I have to pull from your perspective too, because like Brother Angelino mentioned, right? It's not about the actual game, right? It was like just coming together, working together, kind of like working out these scenario challenges together. And that's what brought them together. And I love how you talked about how you kind of pulled back to see how this would go, especially with the communication thing. In your perspective, if you can share with us a little bit, like, and I love how you kind of went back with the Kadiwa that you were riding with. How do you think that these type of activities do help? Because this was a leadership enhancement, right? How does that help when it comes to serving in the CFO or the Christian Family Organization?
Well, for me, it helps me because, especially to know things were definitely different when I was a Kadiwa officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I used to be a Kadiwa president, and I do wish we had things like this when I was growing up, because I think it's so important to, one, they're learning how to team build. Team building activities weren't exactly something that, you had to just try to do it yourself on a local level. And it's nice to see that, like, especially in the District of Florida and Faithful Florida, we are very close in proximity versus we had 14 locales in the district before, but we were all like hours and hours apart. Here, we're so lucky that we're just very, very, only separated by just a couple hours. So for me, it helps, especially book load. We work a lot with the Kadub and he in Florida. So it's nice to know what they like, the things they're into, how their brain works, so that we can do more activities where everyone in the family is kind of involved and they you know that everyone's enjoying it too. So, and I will give it up though. I think our district Kadiwa here in Florida is like top tier. So, Sister Cass, I mean, how did you guys even come up with these activities that we're doing, like in these leadership trainings? Like, how do you know what team builders are like, where they go from here?
So I will agree that my fellow co-officers are just really amazing to work with, and they are extremely innovative in the things that they want to see happen, what they wish they would be able to participate in, things like that. And so we really do consider what is it that our fellow brethren, our fellow officers need, so that we can really maximize and truly edify. We always put on our activity request that we want to edify the brethren, but what does that really mean? And so we are very intentional when we come up with these activities. We've had a series of leadership enhancement trainings just in the past maybe 6 months. This is our third one, I believe. And the other two may have been the basics of how you perform your duty, but now we're talking about how can we inspire others? What is the importance of rapport, and how do we build it up? And so the activities, the mini workshop activities you heard with the coins and the boat and the newspapers, those are ways on how we effectively communicate with one another, so that we can then take that and then bring it to the bread, right? And so I like to make it so that anything is easily duplicated. What one person can do, another person can do. So if you can easily do this with your fellow officers, you can do this with your fellow brethren. And when we start connecting with our fellow brethren, that is really when everything is in motion as it's intended. And that is when we believe that, God is truly glorified in the works that we're doing. But that was an amazing activity, I would say. Sister Kat did her first public speaking at that activity, and she did a phenomenal job. I would say the next 48 hours after that activity was still very much on my mind, and I was very, very proud of the officers and the work that they put into it. And I had to take a moment and reach out to the officers that were directly involved in the activity and just say, you did an amazing job, and just really give them their roses, because I heard laughter. No matter where you were in that chapel, you heard laughter from every group, because people were really enjoying it. And I did hear someone say 10 out of 10 would want to attend this activity again. And as an officer, especially as a president, that really warms the heart, because that is why we do what we do. So we are truly grateful for all that had attended and participated. But in Florida, we're never done with the activities that we have. Just today and tomorrow we have our Magdaleno for the CWS, or the youth members of the church, right? Where they will take the lessons that they've heard, and they will go against each other in a battle of the wits of who knows and remembers the lessons more. And so we're looking forward to that. For Tampa, we have ours today. But I do want to kind of get into something, actually, before we go there. Just want to say that we do have an approval for our Unity Games, which is going to be May 26th. So we're really excited for that. We're going to have basketball. We're going to have pickleball. We're going to have some smaller activities, sports stacking, speed cubing. The CWS, or the youth members, they have several activities for themselves as well. And so we're all looking forward to joining each other with Sister Christina over there in Jacksonville, May 26th. It's a Monday. So we hope to see you there. But one of the things I really wanted for all of us, the District CFO officers, to be here on INC Radio today is because we have a really exciting activity coming up, and it is our CFO Day. CFO Day honors and remembers our spiritual leaders. Angelo's birthday, our CFO coordinator, his birthday is May 1st. And so we are holding a CFO Day where we're bringing all the different CFOs and societies together. It will be in Orlando, 5 p.m. on May 4th, so Star Wars Day. And we have a lot of different activities. Each CFO and society has something different that we are bringing to the table to enhance the brethren so that everyone is truly edified. So I think we're going to go with Sister Ella over there with CBI. What is it that brethren can expect when they visit CBI? Like what booth are you what booth are you going to be holding, as well as what kind of field game did you plan?
Definitely. So for our booth, we kind of have two components for it. So the first one is going to be a study tips and tricks board where brethren can write their favorite study tip on a sticky note, and then they can paste it on that board to share with the other brethren. And the other one is an architectural scramble where basically they're going to be able to complete a puzzle of the Philippine arena. And so whoever participates in that, we have lots of prizes and giveaways, like tote bags and notebooks as well. And then for our game, we're going to be having like a four-legged race where each person in the race will kind of have a task that they have to complete before their entire group can move on to the next one. So hopefully that'll be really fun. And I heard Kadiwa has like two like boots and games. So I'd like to hear about those as well.
We'll get to Kadua in a little bit, but let's see, Kuya RJ, what is it that District Binhi have in store for the brethren?
All right, for District Binhi, we actually have a little mini game for the Binhi to participate in. It's kind of like a Nerf dart. What was it called? Target shoot. So essentially, we'll have a little target set up for them, and then we can have a little bit of a competition as well. Not only we can have it as a competition, but also have it just like 1-by-1 or just like 2v2 or something like that. We can come up with something like just like that. But the main activity of it is a target shoot. But all the more is just to bring friends together, of course, and be in that booth together. And for being part of the activity and also winning the game, you are going to be able to receive a small Binhi pin, but also our custom notebooks, Binhi custom notebooks, which is a nice little prize for them to take away and maybe use for other stuff. And if you don't mind a little bit, I can maybe even go into district multimedia a little bit, because also I'm also a district multimedia officer. So for us as district multimedia, we have also a small booth as well. So essentially, it will talk about the different aspects of district multimedia, what we do in the district multimedia, and also maybe a small photo booth. And it's just going to be a souvenir for all the brethren to take away. Nice little photo from the day of the activity, be able to learn about district multimedia, but all the more just a nice way of celebrating CFO Day. So I don't know who else wants to go, but maybe let's go over to the book Lud now. Let's see what they have up in store.
I do believe that we are going to have like a little activity. It's very basic, just toss a ping pong ball in the. I mean, back in the day, we had game shows where you would toss ping pong balls in buckets. So I think that we're bringing back that nostalgia and that little activity. I think they will also set up our district book load. Where they're very good at like doing like different setups for like pictures for families. So I think we'll be bringing that up as well there. So you'll see us. We'll have a little game with different activities. And Sister Joy, I think you're also helping us with that too.
Absolutely. I'm always here and happy to help because these are the activities, right, that just make our heart beat. And we're really excited for this. And as you notice, for all the activities that we've mentioned, right, it's not just specific. It's not just like art specific. It's not just skill building specific or outdoors or sports specific. This covers everything. So even if you're not very artsy, come and eat the fruit with us, right? Even if you're not really outdoorsy, come and take some photos with us. And skill building. Who doesn't want to learn and grow? And many of you mentioned, right, that like things like a leadership enhancement. You don't have to be a leader to learn and grow, for us to improve ourselves. So this is just such a wonderful opportunity for all of us. Let me throw this out. It's an incredible opportunity, and that's incredible with a capital INC. Incredible opportunity for all of us, whether you're part of the district Christian family organizations, or even if you're not part of the Christian family organizations as an officer, everyone is part of the Christian family organizations, because there's something for all of us and for all of us to participate. And I love that even though we have Buklod, even though we have Kadiwa, we have Binhi, we have CWS, this is every activity we have is really for the entire family. It's for all of us to be able to participate, enjoy each other's company, and to grow together. So these are really, really, really wonderful opportunities. And, I love hearing from all of you, like what it is that you love most about these activities. So I'm actually, if we can hear from, let's go back over here to the central side. Sister Ann, I'm going to toss it over to you. Like, when it comes to activities like this, we talk about our upcoming CFO Day. Those are so fun, right? And like unity games that we're looking forward to, and even some of our past activities. When we have activities like this, what is one of the things that you love most about these activities? Because I just love hearing all these things. And what so what is one of your favorite things when it comes to these activities that are put together?
I think at the Joy, one of my favorite things about having all of these activities in our district is bringing it back to getting to see everybody and coming from other locales, getting to spend time with all the people that we don't see every week, at church. But it's really great because throughout the time that we've been bringing these activities back in person, we've really been able to spend so much time with those people. And I've gotten to see so many new relationships formed, and people are always staying late and going out to eat with each other, even before or after the activities. It's not just within that time, but they come early to help set up because they're really excited to just to help out and spend time with each other and have fun putting together the activity, even not just participating in it.
I love how you said that, you see them come early, you see them want to stay late. I remember, so we had a Binhi formal, right? And, like everybody was included in this. It's not just for Binhi. And I'm going to, let Brother RJ talk a little bit about this. But it's like when the night was over, everyone was like, bye. And then they moved over this way. And they're like, bye. And then they move over this way. And it was so funny because it was so hard. And this was a week before we had all our other activities. And it's like, bye, we're going to see you next week. Oh, that's too long for now. Okay, bye. And then it's like they only moved like, I think it was like 12 feet at a time. It's like this group, all of them would just move this way. And it's like, didn't we just say bye like 12 times already? And it was hard because, and these are the same, this is the group of, it's not just Binhi, it was just, even parents, we were like, it is hard because, we were there early for setup. We were there during the activity. We had such a great time. And then the activity's over, everything's packed up away, but it's like, we just kept moving. We're like, we'll see you at the next rest area on our way home, So it was like, that's exactly that feeling. You don't want it to end. You want to keep going, right? And you look forward to more. So it's just spending time with each other. It's just such a wonderful thing and a wonderful experience. So really, really, really looking forward to all those things. And I'm going to pass it back over here, RJ, like activities like that, right? Doesn't just make your heart beat. Like,
I mean, for at least for Binhi Formal, that was the first in our district, and having that activity was so I was so blessed to have that activity because I've been wanting for an activity like that to happen, and being able to hold it, and being able to see everyone, being able to see all the Binhi, they're so excited, and then at the end, like what Sister Joy said, she said like they don't want to go. It's like they didn't want to go. They kept saying hi and bye, like every now and then, they just move 2 feet, but yeah, it really just shows how strong the connection of fellowship and friendship with one another, and it really shows that we're really, really strong in the faith. And I was so glad that Binhi Formal was able to happen, and they were able to get even closer with one another, be able to meet all the different Binhi across the district. So that was really aiming for at the Binhi Formal. And plus, they got to take away some cool souvenirs as well, such as one of the Binhi custom notebooks, but also a nice little photo from the actual activity. So nice little remembrance of being one of the first in our district and also one of the first in the whole world. I don't really see that much Benny Formal be held through much of the world.
But we have a lot of we have many other activities that we're looking forward to. You know, we even have bringing your pets, when it comes to like these nature activities and things like that. And so many things that we're really looking forward to here in our district. And isn't it just so wonderful to hear from not just, INC Radio, but I mean, you guys here, right? So in our chat, you guys, we're so glad to have all of you participate and let us know. These are things you hear it from them themselves, our district officers, our district CFO officers, how wonderful it is not only to put these activities together, but to also see the fruits of this. Because putting an activity together it really is a labor of love. Because we said, Cassie mentioned earlier, like, putting these activity requests, and you hear the word activity request, right? And it sounds like it's just like maybe a piece of paper and then you just put it in, but it really does take time. And you mentioned intentional. It really is intentional. And it's not just something you sign off for and say, okay, I hope that this goes through so that we can be together again. But when you said intention, there's heart that goes into these activity requests, because you're thinking, how do we bring everyone together? We want this to happen again with the intention of not only enhancing our skills or going outside for physical wellness, but this fortifies us spiritually. I mean, this has such a key role in strengthening our faith for, just individually, and then as a group, our relationship, even when it comes to serving our Almighty God, it's strengthened, and you're just motivated. And, because life, I mean, you hear all these good things that are happening, but let's get real here, you guys. You guys go through challenges too. It's hard, right? It's hard studying, and just living, right? Because this is not, this is not our true home, but it's hard. But when we put these activity requests together with that intention, with that heart, it makes all those hard things just so worthwhile. And for me, I'm a mom, I'm Buklud, I'm a wife, and to see everybody come together and all, Kadiwa, Binhi, CBI, CWS, it really is just so much fun. It really does. It makes that labor and, the hard times that we all go through, it makes it so worth it. So worth it. It's an incredible, with a capital INC, it's an incredible experience. So I'm just, if you are not yet part of the core of officers, I'm encouraging you, no matter whether you are in the Buklud, Kadiwa, Binhi, CWS, I encourage you to reach out to any of the officers. Please be part of this, because there is so much joy. There is so much to look forward to, when we go through this. And parents, I'm with you on the same page. It's hard to have a family, but when you have your kids participate in the planning and preparation for these activities, you see their faith grow, and it's such a beautiful experience. I mean, you heard, our lovely Kat, who's the daughter of Brother Robert here, public speaking, that's number one also fear that I have, but you gain skills. Look at this. Not only did she gain skills when it came to public speaking, you have your family, your CFO family, the CFO Christian Family Organization to back you up, to support you and help you grow. Where else can you find that? I mean, it's just such a wonderful thing.
At the Joy,
Mhm.
there was something that you had mentioned, and I know I said that, we're very intentional in the things that we are putting together. But sometimes we are so ambitious at the same time, and we have many ideas, but we always have to narrow it down. So, I know Ella had said earlier that District Kadiwa has more than one thing and more than one game type thing. And it's true. And the thing about us is sometimes we rely on a random wheel generator to make our decisions because there's always so many good ideas that it's kind of hard to figure out which one is going to stick. So I'm going to ask at the end, talking about CFO Day, this is a perfect example of what I mean. But with CFO Day at the end, what did we come up with for our booths and our games that we're going to present on that day?
Honestly, I think ambitious is the right word because there's a lot of ideas floating around in the District Kadiwa. And so something that they wanted to prepare for our upcoming CFO Day is an obstacle course, but not just a small, simple obstacle course. They're bringing in inflatables. Um, it's gonna have a wire crawl, a jump rope run, pool tube tires. They want to make it big and fun for all the Kadiwa. So I feel like I see Kriya Angelino wanting to talk about it too. I think he's involved in that. Um, if I'm not mistaken, even there's going to be maybe like oversized clothes to make it a bit more difficult and challenging for our more active Kadiwa. But besides that, not just an obstacle course, but the Kadiwa are also preparing and bringing back our trusty cotton candy machine. Um, that's been making an appearance in some of our more recent activities too. Popcorn, I think we have a popcorn machine, and even balloon animals, which I'm not sure any of us know how to make, but we're gonna learn together. So
YouTube University is like our favorite thing. So you can learn anything on YouTube, and that's exactly where we're gonna get that information from. But additionally with CFO Day, I know not all of our CFO officers and society members are able to join, but there's other things. So you can expect from CFO Day, you can expect ping pong ball toss, concession stand, target games, arts and crafts, radio knowledge from SCAN. Ella had mentioned the architectural scramble. There's going to be a photo booth. So if you want a family photo, stop by the district multimedia where they're going to have a photo booth set up. There's going to be medical checkups. There's going to be a lot of food. We're not asking locales to create, an outrageous booth by any means. But by all means, you're going to have your own spot. It's assigned already, so there's no confusion. We're trying to cut out any confusions for that day for sure. There's field games, but here's something new that we're going to bring for our CFO Day. We are going to have a pet parade. And so we were even wondering like what kind of pets, and I was like, well, I really hope someone brings a pet monkey. But we are keeping it to pet dogs. So your dogs can be there, but please keep them on leashes. Be mindful of them. There will be general instructions sent to locales on what to expect for that day. Obviously pet friendly dogs, please. If you know that you have a biter, I know my ankles I'm really tall, so I know my ankles are really low, but I feel it. So I don't want ankle biters, please. No ankle biters. But we are really looking forward to this activity. Again, it's going to be May 4th at the Orlando Chapel ground. It starts at 5 p.m. You can join the officers at any time. We'll be there earlier. But we look forward to seeing everyone at our upcoming CFO Day, as well as all of our other activities. And we definitely have a lot more on the horizon. We have a year's worth of activities planned. And so we hope that everyone sticks with us as we continue to hold these activities.
All right. Well, Sister Joy, I stepped away and I came back and I realized that 60 minutes flies so fast. You guys have done an amazing job. Our CFO takeover, I think, has been a phenomenal success. I mean, so much so that we're going to have to do a part 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, or 6 of this, the CFO takeovers. You guys did a great job. But, as we always say, we are the fastest, used to be 30, fastest 60 minutes on radio now. And of course, before we go, we wanted to thank all of you who joined us here today. Of course, we also want to thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our CEBSI and CFO Overseer, and our CEBSI CEO and President, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, and also, of course, to our Executive Producer, Brother Manly Ndaya, and to our Station Manager, Brother Wally Tarai. Thank you so much for always continuing to support this program. And of course, thanks to our CFO Takeover guests. You guys did a great job today. Sister Cass, who's our District Kadiwa President, Sister Ella Lipioso, and Sister Ann Murph, Sister Christina Castellano, and all, of course, there in the studio in Orlando with Sister Joy, Brother Angelino, and Brother RJ as well. Thank you guys for joining. We definitely want to have you guys back in the chat. What do you guys think in the chat? Should we invite our district CFO officers back? I think so. So for now, we'd like to please ask you to stay tuned. Join us next week on another episode of INCRadio Florida. But next is our sister station up there up north at INCRadio Washington, D.C. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.